Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be setting up this beautiful journal right here. So this one came in the Jane's Agenda March box. So I do get the deluxe planner box. Most of the time I did skip for April, but most of the time I get the deluxe planner box, and it was in the March collection, and it's really, really pretty. Look at how pretty that is. I love the green color. I love the gold gilding on the edges. Like, this is just dot grid, which is my favorite. It is kind of like a creamy instead of a bright white paper, which is kind of fun to have something a little bit different. I'm used to like the bright white paper in all of my journals, but this one has like that creamy color. And yeah, this is going to be perfect. And what this book is going to be is the brainstorming book. So I'm going to show you why I need a brainstorming book. Also, it's a fun little time to go over the Singing in the Rain collection. These are available for subscription up on the website. So if there's something in here that you see, because we're going to be using this to try to set up some of the beginning parts of this journal, if there's something in here you want to get your hands on, then the links always to my shops are in the description down below. But also, I'm using the washi paper for this one. When I use bright white paper, I can use the paper that is like the unicorn style, the premium matte, and it just kind of is a little bit more seamless. But I thought, since this is kind of like a creamy paper, and you can see the difference right here, I wanted to show you. So this is on the premium matte, and you can kind of see that you don't see too much of the edges around it because this paper is pretty white. So you can see it, but you can't, it doesn't like stand out horribly. Whereas I feel like if I were to use that on, you can see the difference in the paper here. If I were to use that on here, it's just gonna like pop off the page with that white, and I didn't want to do that. So I'm gonna use the new washi paper. This will be available next month, which is what we're gonna be brainstorming in this book, is next month's collection. So you'll be able to see how this looks using it on a cream paper, and how it, you know, if using bright white is better, or if you can use this basically on any color. So anyway, that's where we're at with that. And I'm going to show you why I need a brainstorming book. So my process for figuring out collections and ideas and things that just pop into my head that I want to try whenever I come up with like new ideas or new pages that I want to include or any of those kind of things, they end up in any one of these books. So I've got several of them sitting here off to the side. Just to give you like an example, this is the one that sits at my desk all the time, and every once in a while, like something like this will happen where I'll just like in the notes section of this particular planner, I'll start like brainstorming the notes for like a new collection. So this one was for, I think this one was for Baked with Love. Yeah. And then I've got like little note sections in here. So it may end up here if I'm at home and I'm like sketching something out, or it may end up in here if I happen to be at work. I have a lot of little notes sections in here as well, where I'll start like writing down ideas for things that I need to put in the collection, or like to-dos for the collection, like certain pages that I need to draw or certain elements that I want to include or whatever. They'll end up in here. This is how I go to work. Hold on, let me get the... So I put what pens I'm going to be using. Let me fill it up so you can see like what I'm playing with. So I usually, hold on, I don't want that one. This one. So I usually take this. So this was in the cloth and paper. This is the new way I go to work. I take this, I put it around here like so with the pens that I want to use. Usually I'll have one of my, here's the rest of it, the reusable sticker books in here. So just like going to school when you're a kid, you have like your stack of stuff. This goes into my backpack with my iPad, and away I go. So I have everything that I need right here when I go to work. So because I work 12-hour shifts, I have time in between seeing patients, especially since I work night shift, that I will sit down and I will do some doodling. I will do this kind of stuff. I work on my iPad. I do different things in between if there's time. There isn't always time, but if there's time, I do use these. So this goes with me all the time. And in here is where I put down a lot of my brainstorming ideas of things that just pop into my head that I want to try, or things that I want to draw. And you'll see in here that I've got like a ton of like how, like this is Singing in the Rain sheets. What do I want for the sheets? Like this is artwork that I want to redo, February goals. Like there's a lot of stuff in here that I will just write right in here. And then I have like little tabs in here to remind me of where I want to go. And then, like I said, in this one, there's in the notes pages. Let me put my little sticker books away. And sometimes in here, this is my A5. Only reason why I have the A5 out is because I wanted to show you how April came out. So I used the monthly on April for Singing in the Rain. So I brought this out so that I could show you how it came out. I think it looks absolutely adorable. I love the way this looks. And this is all stuff that is in the subscription. So I'm going to put this aside because we don't need this. There's nothing in there that I need to use. And let me pull out my pens back out. Then we'll go over the collection real quick so that you can see what we're going to be using. So basically what I wanted this for was not to take the place of all of that stuff. It's a place to put it after I've already like kind of sketched it out over here, you know, whether I'm at work or whether I'm sitting at the desk or whatever, wherever I am that I'm sketching things out, and then put it in a cohesive place where I can go back and find it. So if I was going to be doing like Singing in the Rain, this first, you know, 5 pages or so would be all of the different pages that I have decided that I want to include for each collection would be that. And then the next collection is called the Novel Brew. That one will take up the next section of stuff where we'll figure out what we're going to do with that. This is actually going to start with the Novel Brew because we already have Singing in the Rain, but just to give you an idea of how the collections are going to go. And then those pages, I'm going to dedicate about 6 pages per collection. And in those 6 pages, I will be able to have the different elements that I feel like I need in order to have like a cohesive idea of what I need to work on for each collection. So first things first, let me get rid of all of my stuff. Well, that can probably just stay there and go over this. So this month, let me get a white piece of paper. It's not very flat. It's kind of a mess, but I wanted to show you these. So this month I had the vellum actually produced outside of here because I was just struggling too much with the vellum, and I can tell you it is, oh my gosh, it is so fantastic. So we're going to use some of this. That was page 1, and this is the other page. So I'm learning like different techniques to do with the collages. I realized that that came out a little bit bigger than I expected it to, and maybe on this next section in the notes, when I'm writing my notes down for the Novel Brew, I can say that I want 3 sections of collages that are a little bit smaller instead of the 2 sections of collages. You see what I mean? Like, it gives me, this particular book here is going to give me what I feel like I need in order to, I should probably keep that out, in order to keep all of the ideas in one place. So when I actually sit down and start to work it out, it'll be easier for me because it'll all be in one book. So we have days and months. Don't need any of these for this book because we're not going to date it at all. This, one of the keys to this success of this book is that it is not dated or timed, so you can use it whenever you need it. But these are what actually come in it. So we have some quotes here. This is the monthly headers. What else we got in here? Oh, we've got florals. We've got full boxes. Because, you know, I have to decorate it. I can't just have a blank book in front of me, but there will not be a lot of decoration because these pages are pretty, I have them worked out to the way that I want them to be. These are washi strips. Washi, Kiss Cut washi. Some medium-sized deco. This one is some more washi strips. This one is some decorative paint swatches. Then we've got some plainer paint swatches. If you've seen this already, just skip ahead. But if you haven't seen this and you're kind of curious what I'm using and how I'm using it, this is the page 1 full page deco. There's a full sheet. This is the page 2 of the full page deco, and this is strips right here, and I'll show you why I love those strips so much and why I included them in this subscription. This one is the small deco, but these right here I want to incorporate onto this page right here to create more, like maybe go like 5 of these and then a whole bunch of these, because I love those. I use those all the time in my planner, and so I want to incorporate more of those. So that's one of the things that will go on the idea sheet. Oops, I already did this one. Sorry. Then this is the Everybody freebie. Then these are the cards that came in this month, and one of the other things to go in here is that I don't want to do monthly cards anymore. What I want to do with these are to change this into another like collage type deco piece so that you'll have two options to put in your planners together. Then this is the vinyl. And then this is something that I made for this particular book, but it is a thought that I wanted to add an option in the shop to, as each collection comes out, if you want to have one of these with like 4, so it wouldn't be 2 different ones because that would be hard for me to do, but like it would be a whole collection of Singing in the Rain with your name in a couple different fonts, or this one is Baked with Love, a whole thing of Baked with Love with your name on them, or the Novel Brew, which is coming up. So it's an idea that I had to add to the shop, along with custom scripts in the font that I use in these kits. So everything is kind of cohesive now. The fonts are going to stay the same. We're not going to bounce around anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull all the old fonts out of the shop, and we're going to go with these 2 right here. So they'll be very basic. You'll either get a fancy scripty font or a very like Times Roman numerally type font, but actually that is not that font, but you get the idea. It's just a very like plain font, which makes it very easy to read. So we have those. So that needs to also go in here in the idea book. So now, a brainstorming book, idea book, whatever you want to call it. Then this doesn't necessarily have to be only for somebody who owns a business and you're like a product developer or something like that. This can be for anything. You can use this for home. You can use this for your projects that you have to do at work, family projects, kid projects, vacation planning. You can use these. There are like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different reasons to use these journals, not just as like a planner or not just as like a memory keeper. There are, as a matter of fact, if I remember to do it, I'll link Jashi Corinne down below, but she literally gives you thousands of ideas for ways to use your journals with actual examples of how she sets up the pages. She's amazing. She does a really good job, and I get a lot of ideas from her, and that is where I got the idea for the brainstorming book. So first off, the very front page, this book belongs to, that is what I have this for. And I am going to use this collection up here, but I did make some of these to use on my other ones because ever since I started making these, I've turned into like a kid going to kindergarten for the first time. I have these on everything. Like I made an entire sheet of these and they are like littering everything. So I'm actually going to be using this one, but I have places for these as well. And this is on the new washi paper. So you have to be careful when you pull washi paper up off of the backing. You can see that the backing is clear. So yeah, just be careful when you lift off. So I'm going to put this right where this book belongs to. I put my name right there. And then I wanted to put this somewhere so that I have, maybe I'll put them up here, like each month. As I finish the collection, I could probably like add the vinyls to this front cover just so that I have them. Although I think that looks really pretty the way it is right there with like nothing except my name on it. So we're gonna hold off on that. I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not. We'll see. I might use that someplace else because I just think it looks nice like that. Okay, this page is basically like a useless page. There's one in the front, one in the back. The one in the back I used to test some pens, because you can see that it doesn't like stay flat and open. So I used to test what pens I wanted to use in this section. But then when you move it to the very next page, everything stays nice and flat. So this is where we're going to start. I'm going to start right here. And at some point I will probably just tape these 2 pages together. As a matter of fact, let's just do it now. And then I don't have to think about it. I don't have to do anything crazy. I just put a couple of little pieces of double-sided tape on a couple of the edges, just so that it doesn't grab onto anything, and then I close the book in order to put them together so that they lay where they're supposed to be, and then that's it. We're done. So that just makes it easier for me like that. You could also turn this into a pocket page if you wanted to, where you would just glue right here, and then you could stuff some things in there like some extra sticker sheets or whatnot. There's a bunch of different ideas that you could do with this, but for me, I think I just want it to be like this. I also have somewhere in my stash, I don't know where it is right now, but I have some of those clear pockets So I might actually put a clear pocket here, and then on the clear pocket, we can put this. Like we could use this on the clear pocket, and then that way I have a place to put some stickers as well, or whatever I want to put in there. And so now to start on these first couple of pages, I have like ideas for what I want the pages to be. So the first one is going to be just kind of like the opener page, which I wanted to put in one of the vellums in here to just kind of look at how pretty that is. It like just, oh, it's so pretty. The only thing, if we do it like this, so we can see both of them and the flowers. So I'm gonna ruin the entire page doing this, but it's okay. Does it? It's okay. I do not have extras of these, by the way, because I order them. It's one of those things that when they're gone, they're gone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a mark here, a mark here, and a mark here, and a mark. I'm just eyeballing this. It's gonna, just to get it to the basic size that I want. And then once I have it made, like cut down to there, then we'll get a little bit more intricate with the actual size. But for now, I just want to get it started. So we'll cut that off. And you can always use these extra parts and pieces in other parts of your journal as well. Because these would be like really pretty as edgers. You could put them down as edgers like that. Hopefully you can kind of see that. I know I'm not really in camera, but so I'm not going to throw away any of my extra big chunks that I'm doing right now. But I will throw away the skinny pieces that we're going to have to use. We're going to have to trim this down just a little bit more. All right, there. So that's kind of cool because at least I can keep most of Leafy and Lily in the page. So we're close. I think we only need about 1/4 of an inch off the top and 1/4 of an inch off the side. Not bad. It's not too bad for eyeballing it. So there's the 1/4. That's probably a little too much. There it is, right there. It's hard to see the line on this side because I'm doing it on the wrong side. And then you'll see that I get a little bit quiet when I'm concentrating, and I'm trying not to mess stuff up, because if I don't, and then I just sit here and yap, I will mess it up. Then I have a couple of different ways to attach this. One of the ways I have, wait a minute, let me grab something. Not sure how well this is going to work on vellum, because sometimes vellum can be a little bit hard to corner. Oh, it worked. I want to corner this before I stick it in there. So I'm not going to attach it to the page. What I'm going to do, okay, get in there. What I'm going to do is tip it in. So that way it becomes like a part of the book. Well, that was ugly because it didn't go in straight. That's better. Okay, I got this online. This is what it's called if you're interested in finding this. But it's nice and small and easy to just toss in a drawer, so you don't have to have like a big old huge chomper sitting there. But this is where it's going to go. And I did bring a couple of different ways to attach this. So since we want to tip it in and not attach it to the actual page, I have this. We'll see how this works. So theoretically, you're supposed to just run it down the side and then stick it in the middle and let it dry there, and then it becomes like a part of the page. So I'm going to try it and see how it works. So I'm just running it probably way more than I need along the edge like that. And then I'm going to line it up where I want it. It's already starting to stick. All right, there it is. It's in there. So now we'll see if it actually like stays in there. I don't know. I've never done it before with glue, but I saw someone do it online. I don't remember who, or else I would let you know, but I saw someone do it online. It's supposed to work. We'll see. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Okay, we still have this one that we can use later, so I'm going to set that off to the side. I don't have a lot of space right here. My desk is limited to like a little bit wider than the camera view, so I don't have a ton of room to be. I think it's kind of stuck to this page though. I don't really want that. All right, let's move on to the next page because we'll come back to that one later when it's dried, and then I will decorate the other side. Because on the other side of that vellum, let me get rid of these too because we don't need these. I'm going to take out the stuff I'm not going to use. Over there. Okay. And then let's get organized. I don't need that either. This, I wanted to put this on the other side of that front page, which I guess we can do that, and then that way we can see how this looks on this paper right here. So this is a full kiss cut sheet. So when you put it down, it is washi paper, so be careful. Like, don't do what I just did. When you put it down, you should be able to reposition it for a little bit, just like washi tape, but just remember that once it's down, it's probably not going to come back up super easily. So there it is. Oh, that's cute. And I don't see an edge other than, you know, what's printed on there, but look at that. All you can see is that creamy edge instead of like a bright white popping off the page. I love that. And then down here, I'll probably put some kind of a I'm gonna do the you and me right here. There. I love it. That's adorable. Okay, I'm glad I did that. Testing. The next page on the inside, I don't know what I'm gonna do with yet. I just have that. Okay, next up, we are going to start working on the actual pages. So in my little mind map here, I have this thing, it's called, it's not my idea, it's just everybody's idea, but it's the idea map. And ideally what you do is you take in the middle and then you start working some details out to the sides. So first things first, for this page, what I'm going to do is I have an initial map, which is all the ideas, and then I have the final map, which is taking all of this and then putting it over here, and it'll probably end up, I don't know, I'm not sure yet. Maybe I could just do one mind map page and then a notes page next to it, because I think I want like a structured and a non-structured page, just so that I have like a place to put that and then a place to kind of flush it out a little bit on this side. So the actual, let me just do it. Let me just do it and I'll show you what I'm talking about, because just talking about it's probably not gonna make it so that I'm probably not being clear. How's that? Let me just say it that way. I'm probably not being clear. Okay, so over here, I always have to decorate everything because I hate looking at a blank page. Blank pages scare me. I don't know if that's how it is with anybody else, but if I am staring at a blank page, I feel very intimidated by it. So what I think I'm gonna do is I've got a couple of like just basic washi tapes in like neutral colors that I thought I could put down, put some of the decorative tape over the top of it, and ooh, I can't even get this one open. I haven't even used this one yet. There we go. And this one is more tape and less plasticky, I guess. That's probably the best way to say. So this is actually closer to the actual washi tape itself, the washi paper, and not with that coating over the top, which a lot of these have like a really waxy coating. Like this one has a really waxy coating over the top, which probably has something to do with the printing process when they're printing them. But what happens is a lot of times your stickers, no, this one's actually not as bad as I've seen them. All the ones that I had made myself, I did not know there was a choice. I thought this is how they came with the waxy stuff on them, but I'm finding out that that is not how they come, and I could have done them less shiny. How's that? I could have done a matte version of it, so I'll show you. Like this is very waxy. So when you put it down, it's easy to come back up. It's easy enough to reposition it and put it where you want to put it. The problem is that other stickers don't stick on top of it. So I don't really like using this type of washi tape unless it's going to be by itself and I'm not putting anything on top of it. But because I want to use the florals, and with this one, I think I'm just gonna do this. And this tape you can rip as well. I'm gonna do that and that. So then we have like just a base on the bottom of this, and then maybe even. So this one has like a waxy coating over it. So if you were going to use this, it being on top is probably the best place to use it, because you're not trying to stick anything on top of that. But I think that looks neat, having like this the dark section in there. Then we want to put at least some sort of a big element at the top of each page. Like that. And then, so this is from, I think this is either Deco page 1 or Deco page 2. I can't remember because I didn't write it on here. I just know I have a 1 and a 2. So, and then we can put this one down here. Right? So here is where your mind map would go. So to give you an idea of what a mind map would look like. So up here, you're going to want to put something, I'm using pencil so that I can erase it. You're going to want to put something like your title up here so that you know what this is all about. And then you start with your section in the middle, which tells you like your idea. So this one would be the novel brew. I know this is going to be super messy because I'm not actually doing it. I'm just showing you what this is going to look like. It would be like the novel brew. And then from here, you'd start making your lines out off the side. And then this is going to give you what your ideas are. So for this one, this is going to be a classic book theme, right? So you would take your, I probably should have written that closer, because then from here, you can start to branch off of here like this. So say we want to do, what are some of the classics? So like 2000 Leagues. You could do, ooh, Grimm's. Fairy tales. We could do Sherlock Holmes. So, and then you can start like bringing out some ideas on the sides of the classic book theme, right? Then where do we want this? So like my idea for this is called the novel brew because this is going to be in, I just have to turn this. So this is going to be in a book cafe. So from the book cafe, what are we going to need to draw from here? So I want an outside view of the cafe, the book cafe. And then maybe I also want an inside overview of the cafe. Then like each one of the characters. So Leafy, Lily, I know, Buttons. I'm actually like right now I am mapping this out with you, so I'm sorry. Then maybe we want Leafy to be, so we want one where she, or how about let's do this. So the inside view, 3 chairs with book stacks. Okay, and then each one of the chairs will have Leafy, Lily, and Buttons in the chair, and then each one is reading a book. So like Leafy could be reading 20,000 Leagues. Lily could be reading Sherlock. And then Buttons is reading Grimm's because she likes fairy tales. Spooky fairy tales, right? So then each one, now that you have that mapped out, sorry, I probably got out of view, then you can take this. So if Buttons is reading Grimm's, how about if we redo upside down because I'm writing weird. How about we redo, oh, how about book covers with buttons on the book cover, on the cover. Then like some of the, so that would be like the main box for this Grimm's Fairy Tales, but we'd have buttons on there or something similar to it. I'm trying to think of what the cover looks like for Grimm's. I have one, but I'm not sure it's an original. I feel like it was like a redone one, so it's probably not going to be a good, oh, duh. It's literally sitting right here in front of me. This is definitely not the type of cover that I want to use. If I did something like this, I would have to put like a silhouette or something of buttons in here, and maybe a silhouette of like one of the fairy tale, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure yet. That's where the rest of these pages come in, is figuring that out. Okay, so that's mind mapping right there, or project mapping, or idea mapping, however you want to say it. This is basically what it looks like. Oh, hold on one second. I'm gonna pause this because I need to go take care of these two. Okay, sorry about that. The dogs, they decided that it was a good time to start wrestling around and playing and barking in the chair behind me. So this is what I'm talking about. It's very ugly. I will fix it later. I will erase all of this, make it look nice, put all of my lines where they belong, and do it with actual black pen. But this gives you like an idea of what I mean by that particular page. So that page is an idea mapping page, and then next to it I want to have just a notes section. So over here we could break this down into like a couple of sections where we could have notes, and actually I think the whole thing should be notes. So let's put one of these skinny ones at the top to just kind of, I'm not going to go down the side, but just on the top to just kind of frame the page, and then that will be it for the first two pages. So its first two pages for me is going to be the idea mapping and the notes for the idea mapping. And then next page, this is probably going to be so scattered, and I apologize. Like, whenever I'm working things out, my brain is going like 1,000 miles a minute, and I'm very aware that I will forget. I will most definitely forget to say things and or get like sidetracked easily. But this is how my brain works. So I really love these little quotes that came on here. This is definitely something I want to keep. Let's put it up there. Small steps every day. Ain't that the truth? Okay, so now we'll move on to the next page. So on the next page, what I wanted to do here was one of the things, I don't know if you've noticed in my notes or from before. I think I showed this before. Let's see if I can find it. See, this is another reason why I need to do this. Yeah, this. So here's one with the Baked with Love. So one of the things that I like to do is figure out, here's the one for rainy days. This is the idea sheet. I want to put these boxes inside of this book so that I can do something similar like this, right? So I want to be able to map out each one of the actual boxes. So like one of these boxes would be the outside of the shop. Actually, it would take up probably two boxes. It would be like the outside of the bookstore, book cafe, and then an interior view of the book cafe, or maybe even two, I don't know yet. And then like each one of the characters sitting at their chair, in their chairs with their books, and then each one of, so you get the idea. I don't need to I don't need to explain the whole thing. I'm sure you get it, but I just wanted to show you that because I need that in here, because I feel like drawing it over here and then like recreating it over here, because this is obviously very rough, just pen scribbles. Once I put it over here, I can define it a little bit more, and then when I actually draw it in the iPad, that's when we can clean everything up and make it look nice. I do not do any of my preliminary sketches in my iPad because it just doesn't work out for me that way. I don't like the way it looks. So, and it takes up a lot of, I don't know how to explain it, but it takes up a lot of space. That's about the only way I can really describe what I mean by that. So here, we don't want to put anything down yet. We will decorate after. So first thing is first is we want to make the actual boxes. So the boxes in this over here, are, let's see what size these are, because we could probably use them as a template because it's pretty darn close. Yeah, all 6 of these will fit if I just do the right size here. So these are 2 1/4 by, so it's 2 1/4 this way. Let me see how far we can go. Give me that pencil back. So if we were to start at the tippity top, it would be here to here. And then we can go here to here. Okay, so that's space-wise this way, that's where that's gonna go. And then this way, these boxes are, so it's, this is gonna sound dumb, but this is the way I do it. So it's, I know the quarters and the halves and the 3/4, but the ones in between I get confused on. So it's 2 1/4 and 2 boxes and 2 lines. So this way it would go 2 1/4 and then 2 lines. So it's gonna go to right here, this one. Okay. Yeah, that's it, sorry. And then we skip a line and do the same thing again. So we'll go to here, and then 2 1/4 and 2 lines. So that's gonna go to about here. They're not gonna be exact because all 3 of them aren't gonna fit that way. So what we're gonna have to do is, let's just do it this way. Why am I making this so difficult? I'm making this way too hard. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, and there's 6 there. That's much easier that way. Silly. All right. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw them out. I'm gonna use pencil because I will go over them after I know exactly that they're all perfect. I will go over them. I think I went too far with this one, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. I don't know. So there's 1. There's 2. I know I'm not in camera very well. And here is number 3. And then it's going to be a lot easier to go across. Once you have the first one made, then you can like kind of fairly easily make them afterwards once you've figured out exactly where all your lines are. And in the front of this book, that might not be a bad place to put a key. So if you wanted to put like some sort of a key with like the number of boxes that are here, for each one of your pages, like how many boxes you need for these, how many boxes you need for other like types of pages like you would do in a bullet journal, that'd probably be a good place where you could do like a flip out or a fold out key. I'm just making the lines, but I'll fix where they go vertically after I get it all drawn out. And since I'm really not using these dots on the dot grid for, like, obviously not going to use them for drawing or anything like that, so it doesn't really matter that it's not on exactly on a line, but the actual dots would be kind of helpful for counting out your box, like how many squares you need for each one of these to make it somewhat even. But does that even matter? No, it does not. That doesn't even matter. Okay, so there's where each one of these would be, and then at the very top of each one, I think I'm going to do like this has it, because I put like what it was in here. I feel like that's kind of an important place to put that. So at the top, I'm just going to give myself one line at the top of each one, and then that way I'll be able to write the header of what box it is, just in case it's not clear with my scribbles what exactly it was I was going for. So that's basically what it's going to look like right there. And then this side over here is where we're going to do the notes. So this will be the note side, and I will throw down some decorative washi. I just wanted to try this out and see how it looks. In the Cafe Leafy redo, the screen is probably filthy, but I can show you. I can show you one of the pages that I'm working on right now. I know the screen is going to be disgusting, but because my iPad screens get super dirty when I'm working on stuff. Let's go out to Cafe Leafy. So I'm doing a redo of Cafe Leafy, and this right here is one of the sections, like one of the pages. It's going to be in the Cafe Leafy, and you see the film strips here. That's when I love that washi. I think I'm gonna like definitely have that washi tape. I was going through all of my washis for my blacks and whites and like neutrals and stuff, and as soon as I saw this is what actually gave me the idea to do the film strips in the redo of the Cafe Leafy. So I'm definitely gonna use that in there. That was a little, see, I told you, I get all off track. It's super easy, which is why this is so important. It's very, very important. Okay, how about we do something cute? Let's put these guys here. I love the way this whole entire collection came out, which is scary for me because usually if I love a collection, you don't. So the fact that I love this one really had my stress levels like through the roof, because I'm like, I really love this, but every single time I have like really loved something, nobody else loves it like I do. Like sometimes, and then it's the opposite is true. If I really hate the way a collection comes out, you guys love it, and I just can't. I don't know why that happens, but that looks really cute, huh? Okay, this one's gonna be like a note section again, like I said, and I think we're gonna just put one deco piece on there because we don't need a ton of stuff. Actually, let's grab some florals. We can throw, do I want to put any? No, actually I don't. I think I just want to do one deco piece. And I'm trying to figure out which one I want. I think I'm going to do, this is obviously my favorite because this is the cover. So I'm going to put that right there. Perfect. Okay, and then I don't think there was anything on here. There's a daily reminder thing. Like if you had like some type of a note right there that said notes, it would look good right there. I don't have that though. I'll write it later with my hand. Also on washi paper, you can write on it. Too much, thinking too much. Notes, note section, and then this is the sketches. So notes, sketches, and we're going to want 2 pages of that. So I'm going to leave this one blank because I'm going to do this exact same thing on this side, and this one will be for elements, like different things that are going to be a part of the kit, like the florals or like the parts and pieces of it. So like for on the mind map, that's where you're going to mind map everything out, and then over here you're going to list everything out. So on the mind map part, it would be an idea for what I mean by elements would be 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. What kind of elements are we going to want in there? So maybe we're going to want like a funky looking octopus, or a submarine, or the captain's hat, Captain Nemo's hat, or like a wheel, a ship wheel, because there was a ship in there, not just a submarine, but there was also a ship. That was the first thing that the giant octopus grabbed and pulled under, was the ship. Remember, it broke it into like a million different pieces. So we could do like a ship's wheel, or like an old-timey compass. Like those are the types of elements that will look good in a collage, like where we put the collage elements in. That's gonna look really good. So I think the second section here of these will be all florals and elements. We'll go here, and then this will be a note section, so we can also put down some sort of washi tape on this one and set it up. So we do have over here, I have like I think this will be fun. Oh, look. Oh, how cool is this? Look at this washi tape. Oh, so I ordered this whole giant box of all of the like whites and blacks and like types of just very monochromatic washi tape. I ordered it, I feel like it was either Alibaba or Temu or something like that a while back. It has never come back in stock. I'm almost out. Look at that. That would be so cool. This is a really good washi tape to use right here. I'm not even going to cover it with anything. I'm going to leave it just like that because I think this is perfect. Yes, yes, yes. Anyway, I'm almost out of it. They have never come back with it. I look all the time at other places to see if I can find something to replace it with, but this is what I'm down to. It's very distressing to me. Here, this is what we're down to. And they're very, very, like, this has like maybe one. Look at how. That's mostly all the interior piece. It's not even like washi tape. Look how thin that is. And that's how they came. There was hardly any washi tape on any of these rolls. So they didn't last me very long. If I had known that they were like that, I would have bought like a couple of them. I most definitely would have utilized a lot more. Like I would have had a ton more of this because I love that type of washi tape. And if I was going to manufacture washi tape again, that is exactly the type I would do. When I kind of was thinking about what I wanted to do in my shop for the future, trying to cut down expenses, this was one of the expenses that I had to decide if I wanted to continue to purchase washi tape or not. So I decided that if I do continue to purchase washi tape, it's going to be very designed very generically, so to speak, so that it can go pretty much with anything and not just like a specific collection. There won't be any more of this type either. No more of this waxy kind. It'll be the matte washi, and it'll be very generic. What do I want to put here? So it's another notes section, and since I really didn't put much of anything here, we could definitely do the florals. Since I don't have anything over this washi tape, we'll just line up this corner floral here. I love the way this washi is looking on this cream paper because you can't see any edges. Love this washi tape paper so much. I'm gonna put that one up there, and then that's another notes section. So up here I do have a lot of like alphas and stuff. I have both alpha stamps and I have alpha stickers. So most likely what I'll end up doing is just putting my titles of each page with that, because I don't do the best job at blocking out letters. I just don't like my own handwriting, so I will do that later on. But here is the note section, and this is going to get repeated right here. Then the next section right here is going to be, if I can find my paper, I wrote everything down on my paper. Okay, the project board. So the project board pages are basically a giant to-do list that has to do with this collection. So once you have mapped out your collection or your idea, whether it be at work or school or home project or your garden project, whatever project that you have, once you've mapped it all out and you've got your ideas all set and ready to go, you need a to-do list on what needs to be done, like what you actually need to achieve the project and get it finished. So the project board page is going to be kind of set up bullet journal style, I guess, is that's probably the best way to say it. So what we're going to do is leave a little bit of space at the top so that we can put, you know what, let's leave it like that. So I'm going to leave 3 lines at the top so that I can use this for my alphas to put something in there. And then from one edge to the other, we're going to have this. Like so. So in this top section right here, I will block these out later on with a darker pen. At the end of this video, if you're like already done listening to my voice and you've like had enough of me, but you want to see the finished product, at the very end of this video, I will go through this completely done. Like this first section is going to be completely finished at the end of this video. So if you just want to jump to the end and see how each page came out and what I came up with for each one, you can totally just jump to the top. Jump to the back. Sorry. Told you, I get very discombobulated. So we have the title right here. So right here would be the novel Brew. And then over here, we want to have a start date and a due date. So you can kind of keep track of like what your project timeline is. So that's basically like your project timeline. Then underneath that, you're going to want your actual to-do list. So down here is where it's going to be the big to-do list. And for this one, I want to have 2 sections. So we'll do a line down the middle. If that is the middle. Oops, I'm running out of, no, not. I wonder why that didn't write. Anyway, it's good enough. And then we're going to do this at the bottom. Like so. And then this bottom section is going to be a notes section. So these types of notes are for anything that has to do with right here. So this is your to-do list. This will be decorated as well, and I'll show you when we do the flip through, but that is the setup for this page. And then each one of these I have somewhere. I have to find it because it's not readily accessible right now, but I do have one of these guys that makes the boxes. So you have a checkbox section. So this will have checkboxes all the way down both sides, and that will give me the to-do section, and then the notes. And then this one is the materials page. Set up pretty similar to this one, I think. Probably pretty similar. I don't think I need these though, right? I think it looks better with it just being open and not having it like boxed in there like that. It reminds me more of like a planner page. So then on this section, we're just going to I think I'm just going to mirror it. I like the way it looks over there. So we're just going to mirror this. And this one is going to have budgeting information in it. So instead of it having a title and a start date, this one we're going to have, this is the materials one. So let me do this one over here. This one is the project. Oops, it would help if I spelled it right. This is the project board. This is the materials board. So here, this is like your budgeting information. So up here it would be costs. So let me put costs. And then underneath here is going to be, I feel like you're going to need more space because you're going to want the material you need. So washi paper. How many pages of washi paper do you need for this collection? How much does that cost? How much ink are you going to need for this? What's the manufacturer for the ink? How much is that going to cost? How much for packaging? How much for vellum? How much for, so see what I mean? That's what I mean by this being like the budget page. So on this one, I feel like, let's just mark it off here. I feel like over here is where you're going to want your checklists. Actually, not even checklists. Nope, 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 nope. This is where you're going to want your totals. So over here, whoa, my ink just fell out. So over here, you're going to want your total. This is your item. This is the amount. Over here, you can have checkboxes on this side so that when you've completed it and you have all of the materials are here, and then this is where you would write down paper, packaging. Like for me, it's vellum, the cards that go in it, vinyl, and then your amounts that you need for each one of the kits. So if you need 1 page for florals, 1 page. So my kits are 17 pages. So I would need 17 pages times however many subscriptions I have open at that time. So say if you have, let's make it easy. If you have 17 pages and you have 100 subscribers, then you need 17 times 100. And then you know how many pages you need. And then this helps you to keep track of inventory. So if you're like me and you only have 5,000 pages of washi paper, you want to know exactly, okay, so I'm going to use 170 for this collection of washi paper. So it kind of, you can subtract from your total number of paper and just kind of keep track of it so you know when you need to reorder. Plus it keep track of how much you're spending for each kit and any changes that you want to make. So in down here in this notes section, maybe I want to add an 18th page, or maybe I want to replace a page with something else, or maybe I want to try out a different manufacturer for these cards right here, because right now I get them, I design them and I get them from Canva, right? So I design the cards in Canva and then I go to the little print section and I have them printed on the soft touch material. It's expensive. It's not cheap to have these purchase these this way on from Canva with the soft touch paper. So maybe I want to source this out and find a local printer that can do the same thing but for less, where I can pick them up and not have to worry about shipping, or I can like actually see and touch the materials before I order them, that kind of stuff. So this is a good place for you to map that kind of stuff out and then decorate it. And then at the very back, just because I feel like there should be a buffer in between collections, this is going to be blank. So at the very end, hang on, let me see something really quick. So we've got notes. Okay, I've got plenty of notes. I have plenty of note sections. Okay, I was thinking that maybe I should leave 2 more pages for notes, but actually I think this is going to be blank because this is where we will start. Maybe we'll decorate it with a different collection when we start the next section, which will look exactly the same as this, laid out exactly the same way. And then each collection will be in here throughout the entire book until it is all the way filled up, which will be at the end of the year. And then it'll be kind of fun. We'll do a flip through at the end of the year and see how this all turned out and if the collections that I was working on actually worked out the way I want them to. So anyways, stay tuned. I'm gonna come right back in just a second. I will show you this completely finished and filled out, and hopefully this will give you a few ideas on how you can maybe set up a project style journal or a brain dump style journal of your own. Okay, so here we are, and it is as finished as it's going to get without me actually starting to use it. So when we open it up, here on this front page, I have my name here, and then I did find the pockets. So this is, let's see if I can find this. This is one of the pockets that you can get these off of Amazon, and they're just clear pockets that you can put stuff in. So that way I can keep some of my stickers in there. Most likely it'll be the alphas that I keep in here. Then when you open it up, you saw me do this. This I ended up attaching to the page because I just love the way it looks as a whole page. So that's what that looks like. Then when you open it up, we did the mind map or the brain dump type of a map right here. And then you can see I have it all filled in with the start, which is in the middle, the name of the collection that I'm working on. And then it branches out into all the different areas of things that I actually want to have in this collection. Doesn't mean everything that's here will end up in the collection. It's just like a starting point. And then this is the notes page. And on the notes page is where I start putting down notes, like the inside view. These are the basics for the inside view that I want. A little bit more detail on the outside view. And then I'll throw some notes down for some of the actual book covers and what I want to use for the book covers. Most likely going to take inspiration for the book covers from the original covers. And then I'll see what I can come up with, adding leafy lily and buttons into the covers and kind of making them my own. So anyway, that's what this page is. And then when you flip it over, you've got like the doodle notes page. This is more of the same. So this isn't the only place to put notes for this. This whole, every notes page is just like adding on to more and more of the ideas. Then you've got the first section. Get all my eraser marks out. The first section, I've got 2 double-sized boxes and 2 regular-sized boxes, and I've already kind of put ideas of what I want them to be. I know that I want the outside view to be a double box. I know I want the inside view to be a double box. I know that I want these to be book covers, so I've already started doing that. This is a blank one where I haven't put anything in here yet because I'm not sure what I want to put in here, but I also have 6 more little sketch areas and a whole nother notes page. Then it's got some decoration in here, and I used, so I get, let me grab it really quick. I get my Cocoa Daisy, which if you've watched any of my unboxings, you know I get Cocoa Daisy every single month, and I've gotten it now for, I think I'm going on year 3. I have a lot of these. These are all from like the journaling kits. Sometimes they're in the planner kits. She has them all over the place, so you pretty much always get some type of an alpha, if not several, in every single one of your subscription boxes. So I've got a ton of these. So this is what I mean by like keeping my alphas in here, because I can use them to like put the titles on the pages that I'm working on. So I have like probably, I don't know, 60 different pages of these with all different sizes, fonts, colors, you name it, I've got it. So that's what I'm going to be using to do the titles. Then when you flip it over, this is the project board and the materials board. So over here, this I used an Archer and Olive template. These are way too big for me. I won't use that again. I like this one, which is a smaller, I should have it like right here. I feel like I got this from Honeybee. Is that the name of it? I don't remember. It's a pretty old one, but maybe if I stick it on here, you can see it a little bit better. I don't know, but if you can see that. But I used these ones here. This is more my size box. I don't need like a giant box like this. So to try to make it not irritate me, I put some highlighter in it just to try to make it, but it's way too big. Like these I don't like. So this size is perfect for me. On the materials side, I have the budget section up top. Got all of this with item amount and totals here so that I can kind of keep track of what I need in order to make these kits, and any notes down here at the bottom. Project list, I've already started writing in some of the to-do lists of things that I want to change in the next kit, from this particular kit here to what the next one's going to be, and then starts the 2 blank pages, which will be decorated probably something similar to this, but with the next collection before I start working on the next one. After that is called Blossom. So yeah, that's it. I hope this gives you some ideas for like ways that you can use some of these journals and trying to like brain dump and use mind maps and just have a place for you to organize projects, whether, like I said, it's home, work, school, if you're an artist, if you're a digital artist, no matter what it is. This is a good way to take all of that information that you kind of dump on little notes here and there or in different books, and then put it in one cohesive place. And then it makes it easier when you're working on the next thing, the next project, to go back and look at what you did last time. And then that way you have it right here in front of you and you can see what worked and what did not work, which might be a good page to add here in this blank section. Might be a good place to add that in here just to see what you like and what you don't like, and changes, like possible changes that you might want to make to the next one. I think I might add that in here because that is a good one. Or you can just put it in the note section of what works and what doesn't work. But anyway, that's all I have for you now. Thanks guys so much for hanging out with me. I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, I hope this gives you some ideas. Comments down below, I would love to hear them. All of the links to the shops for this collection are linked down below. And yeah, that's all I have for you now, and I will see you again on the next one. Bye!